Dhanana Fernando is the Chief Operating Officer at Advocate Institute, an independent economic think tank, and he joins us now live from Colombo in Sri Lanka. Thank you so much for joining us here on the program today. First off, just give us some insight into Sri Lanka's economic situation at the moment and why they've resorted to paying their debt off with tea.
Yes, Sri Lanka's economy have been in a bit of a troublesome period over the last few years. So unfortunately, with the COVID, most of the problems that we had in our economy has been exposed. So we have had we call it the twin deficit. We had a problem on spending and as well as in income. Because of that, we always had a shortage in our budget. At the same time, we also had in terms of our foreign account, or like the trade account, we also ran a deficit. So both those deficits had come to a bit of a tight situation with COVID, with mounting debt repayments coming in 2022. So things have been slightly become difficult in the Sri Lankan context with the mounting debt repayment, at the same time with COVID, and of course failing to do economic reforms over the last 20-30 years, I think led to the crisis where we are.
Right, it's quite interesting to see a deal of this kind happen. I don't think I've ever heard of a country paying their debt off with tea, but this is only a temporary solution, isn't it? Because exporters have concerns here as well.
But why we have to do paying some of our debt with tea, because we really don't have the foreign reserves or foreign income at this moment. Our foreign reserves are less than $2 billion, and we have mounting debt repayments to be done for about $7 billion in the coming year. So as a result, we are trying to get some of the swap agreements with India, Bangladesh, and some of the Middle Eastern countries. But with that tight foreign exchange situation, Sri Lanka is trying all our options, and this swap sort of an agreement for tea, for foreign debt is, I think, another option that we have come across. But absolutely, this is a temporary solution. As a think tank, Advocata, what we have been advocating for the last 3 to 4 years have been to do serious economic reforms, that is allowing the market forces to work. And it will be painful for people, but at least it will be opening up for a long run proper economic management, rather than going back and forth on this crisis and like just kicking the can down the road for a few more months with few swap agreements. It won't bring permanent solution for this crisis, is our reading at the moment.
Who do you think is accountable for the financial mismanagement in your country?
I think it's multiple governments over the years, because if you look at since 1990s, after the 1977 reforms, we haven't really done any reforms thereafter. We have been taking foreign debt in dollar terms at very high interest rates and with very short repayment time period, and we have been investing those dollar borrowings in infrastructure projects, which is not generating any dollar revenue. So as a result, we are in this bit of a tight situation. So I think it's consecutive governments, and also people have been given a lot of big promises which cannot be delivered. At the same time, the government sector has expanded. We have about 1.5 million people working at the government, and they are not really value adding to our economy. So as a result, all our main functions of the economy, or main production factors like land, labor, and capital, have been just tied up without being able to generate results on our economy. So that has been the result which has been coming for a couple of decades. And I think we are now at a boiling point with COVID coming in. So I think it's the consecutive governments. I don't want to pinpoint to one particular government or one particular leader for policy making. I think it's a consecutive mistakes that we have been doing over the last 2 to 3 decades, is my reading. Why we are in this situation.
Well, as a side note, Dhanana, your country has absolutely amazing tea, and my program editor, Royden, actually drinks a whole cup every single day, and he offers it to us as well. Thank you so much for joining us here on the program. It was a pleasure having you.